Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Virtual Travel Escapes. I'm Rhonda Sleehan, the Leisure Manager at Paul Travel, and joining me, as always, the beautiful Julie Bekdash. Hi, Julie.
Hi, Rhonda, and welcome, everybody.
Thank you all for joining in today and exploring a bit of the world with us. I know this is virtually, but it's really a great way to get inspired and dream about where you want to travel to next. So today we're going to give you a little taste of the Sunshine Coast in Australia. Oh my gosh, I think this is a fantastic follow-up from a few weeks ago where we were showcasing Brisbane. So I think this is going to be a really great insight and get us all excited about some beach time. Now, in case you missed Brisbane from a couple weeks ago or any of our other previously recorded webinars, please visit our website. So you'll find it on paultravel.com/webinars. There's a full list of all of our presentations that we brought to you over the last 18 months. Gosh, 18 months already. So that brings me to our next presentation, which will be on September 30th. We're going to be showcasing the island of St. Lucia with the Tourism Authority from St. Lucia. And as always, we love hearing from you guys. So any feedback or comments, please let Julie or myself know, or maybe your favorite Paul Travel agent that you're dealing with. Anything that you might want to see us showcasing for the future. We're open for suggestions, and we, again, love to hear from you. Now, during the presentation today, if you have any questions or comments, please, as normal, use the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen or the chat box. Maybe you have a great little place that you visited while you're in the Sunshine Coast. So please share that with us. We would love to hear and pass it along for everybody else as well. So you know what, one of those things I was thinking about this just the other day, what I love about travel is all the experiences from the culture, the people, all of these things make your trip so memorable. But what I really love is finding a place that you really connect with, and then it just holds that special, little spot in your heart. And I know, Julie, Australia is one of those places for you. You're an expert in the area, you specialize in Australia, and I just love that you have the passion for it, and it just really exudes from you. And for all of you out there, the connection that Julie has, in Australia really opens up for all of these webinars that we were able to bring to you. So, and this is true today for the guest that we are going to present with you today. So I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm going to turn this over to Julie. I'll let you introduce our wonderful guest, and take it away, Julie.
Thank you so much, Rhonda. And I do feel such a connection with Australia and with people like Emily, the suppliers. When we get together, it's just, I don't know, there's definitely a kinship there between Australia and Canada. They feel like our cousins just across the ocean. So, and so many fantastic things to see all in every region. So I'm excited to bring Sunshine Coast to you today, and Emily. A little bit about her. So I know that I mentioned to some of you, but Emily actually hails from Vancouver, BC. She went to Australia about 13 years ago, as many Canadians do, for a few months, and it turned into 13 years. She actually landed a job with the Sydney Opera House, where she was there for 9 years. And then just by chance, she visited the Sunshine Coast and fell in love with it, which I know we're all going to see why, and finally made the move up there 3 years ago. Now works for the Sunshine Coast Tourism Board. So we are thrilled to have you with us, Emily. We would love to have you here in person. And I know you're missing Canada, just really deeply missing it. And we're also missing Australia, but we're just so happy to introduce our Canadian friends and clients to you. So I'll pass it over to you, and you can share a little bit with us.
Thank you so much, ladies. Thanks very much for having me. I mean, it's always a pleasure when I get to talk to Canadians. I've been very excited about this all week because, yeah, like all of you, I'm missing travel. I'm missing getting back home. And yeah, I mean, as much as Australia really is home and Sunshine Coast is home, Canada always has a big piece in my heart as well. But we love welcoming Canadians over to Australia, especially here in the Sunshine Coast. There's actually quite a strong little Canadian community here in the Sunshine Coast. So we still get together and celebrate Canada Day. We do Thanksgiving. We do like a Christmas in July because that's when it's actually cold here. But yeah, we love welcoming Canadians to the Sunshine Coast. So thanks for joining us today. And if you ladies are happy, I will get started on my presentation if that works for you.
Absolutely. Take it
Absolutely
away.
fantastic.
All right, I am going to turn my video off so all of your lovely clients don't have to look at my face making weird facial movements throughout my presentation. So I'll just stop my video now and I will start sharing my screen and away we go. All right.
Walking with me, guarding me.
Sorry, guys. So just confirming that you can see the screen okay. If you guys can just let me know quickly, you're good to see
It all looks,
We can.
looks great.
Awesome. All right. So a big sunny welcome to the Sunshine Coast. Now, I hope you all have got, well, we're 4 o'clock your time, so I hope you've got a glass of red or maybe a pumpkin spice latte because we're going into fall. But grab your beverage, get ready, and I'm going to take you on a little journey through the Sunshine Coast. I'm going to start with a welcome to country from our local Kabi Kabi people. So that's the local Aboriginal tribe of the Sunshine Coast. So they are going to give you a little welcome, and that's what we call a wanya.
Nara Nulam, Bargama Wangara Komba. Songlines and legends have been
Actually, sorry, bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to make sure that video is playing okay for you.
carved out of these mountains. Stone for stone, step for step, I can feel the spirits of my ancestors walking with me, guarding me. Through my father, I know where I come from and where I am going. My land connects me, my people guide me. We are standing on Kabi Kabi land.
All right, so that's a nice little welcome, and here's our promo video. Right, so hopefully that gives you sort of an idea of what the Sunshine Coast is all about, but we really are one of Australia's favourite holiday destinations. It's an absolutely stunning region. We have a really relaxed beach lifestyle, but also lush tropical rainforest. We have warm temperatures all year round. Now, when I say that really is a true fact. It's, still spring here and it's anywhere from between 20 to 29 degrees. We don't really have a winter. I probably have worn a jacket in the 3 years that I've lived here, maybe 6 times. We have great water all year round. Swimming, you can swim all year round as well, and lots of natural experiences. But what we're really, really famous for are things like our wide open spaces, beachside culture, food, friendly locals, immersive encounters, and real experiences. So when I say wide open spaces, Sunshine Coast isn't a highly populated area. It's one of the bigger regions in Queensland, but it's not a city per se. It's an area that's made up of lots of small little villages. Beaches are big, wide stretches of sand. We've got 100 kilometers of coastline. So no matter what beach you go to, you don't feel like it's crowded. It's not going to Bondi Beach in Sydney, or if you're in Vancouver going down to the beach in the summer, there's people everywhere. It's not like that. You really do have lots of open spaces. And when we say beachside culture, what that means is if you live here on the Sunshine Coast, a lot of people live here because they love the beach. So we really embrace what the ocean gives to us and do lots of swimming, snorkeling, going out and surfing. Like I said, we've got so many beaches. We have over 44, and it really is that coastal, laid back beach town kind of vibe. When it comes to food, I mean, Sunshine Coast is home to so many amazing local growers and producers. And all of the food here really is fresh. So if you go out to eat in a restaurant, chances are the food has gone paddock to plate. So meaning it's come from that grower and grown directly to your plate, probably relatively quickly. Majority of what you eat in the region at restaurants, cafes, it all is grown on the Sunshine Coast. We have really great fertile soil here, lots of pineapples. We're very famous for our fresh fruit, and also extremely famous for seafood. We have these wonderful Mooloolaba prawns that are about the same size as your hand. So food is a big thing. Friendly locals, like our little kangaroos here at Australia Zoo, but the people in the Sunshine Coast really make it. People are warm, they're friendly, they smile at you. If you go for a walk on the beach in the morning, you don't know if somebody is a local or a visitor because everybody smiles at you and says good morning. And when we talk about real experiences, Sunshine Coast has some really, really great authentic experiences. A lot of them are all about nature and natural beauty, like the Nusa Everglades that you see here. But it's really about getting outdoors, experiencing the lifestyle, and getting out close to nature and wildlife. So my little gems, my top 5 reasons why you should visit. Now I've sort of touched on some of these points already, but I mean, Australia is such a big place and we are one part of beautiful Queensland. But again, we've got subtropical climate year round. So you can visit us in spring, summer, winter, fall. It doesn't matter. It's still always lovely here. There's no stingers. So again, that means you can swim year round. We have 300 days of sunshine per year. Now, as Canadians, that's so crucial because I know what a Canadian winter can be like. It's dark, it's cold, it's wet. So it's really great that you can come here and have sunshine all the time. Sunshine Coast is also what I would say has compact diversity. So there's a lot to see and do, but it's all relatively close. So you're never sort of traveling that far. If you're going, say, from the beach up to our beautiful mountains, it only takes about 30 to 45 minutes. So everything is sort of in that 30 minutes to 1 hour drive. And it's a real Australian experience. So the people here are real locals. They're friendly, they're warm, and they'll welcome you in the Australian fashion. So you're probably wondering, where is Sunshine Coast and how do I actually get there and what does that look like? So if you look on this map here, we are located really close to Brisbane. So we are only 1 hour north from Brisbane. Within Queensland, we're sort of at that bottom part, but we've got some really great connectivity. So from Auckland, if you guys are flying and you're doing a dual destination holiday doing New Zealand and Australia, you can fly directly from Auckland into the Sunshine Coast, but also great connectivity around Australia. So as I said, it's only 1 hour north of Brisbane. And in order to get up here, so you can do a car hire, you can get a private transfer, or you can use one of our shuttle buses to get up here. The Sunshine Coast as a region is about 100 kilometers long. As I said, now, like everything in Australia on a map, it looks really tiny and everything's really close, but it still stretches for about 100 kilometers. So what I'm going to present to you is sort of breaking it down by the different regions, so you can sort of get an understanding of what all the different regions of the Sunshine Coast look like and what there is to see and do. So as I mentioned, most of you coming to Australia, you're not just coming to one destination, you're doing multiple destinations, and we love that. So thank you. Please keep doing that. But we do have our airport right in the sunny coast, so you can fly from Adelaide, Canberra, Cairns, Melbourne, Sydney, and as I mentioned, Auckland. So lots of connectivity. you know, we know a lot of people fly into Brisbane and then they might self-drive all the way up to Cairns, or do the opposite, go up to Cairns and drive back down to Brisbane. So there is that opportunity now, which is a new flight to fly directly from the Sunshine Coast up to Cairns. So you could do Sydney, Sunny Coast, and then go all the way up to Cairns and tick some of your icons like the Opera House, come and see us and do some surfing, and then go up to the Great Barrier Reef really easily. So the first area I'm going to take you through is what we call the Sunshine Coast Hinterland. So it's very lush, it's very green, it's mountainous, it's quite unexpected, because you think of Sunshine Coast and your first thoughts are obviously all going to be about the beaches, but we do have this great lush hinterland with waterfalls, the Glasshouse Mountains, which is what we're quite famous for. And within these areas, we do have some little towns and villages. So we have some cute little towns called Montville and Mullaney. They're sort of your picturesque little towns full of shops, cafes, restaurants. This is also where you have lots of really great spots to have cheese, chocolate, wine, and these beautiful Glasshouse Mountains. So those are those mountains that you'll keep seeing in those photos, but it's a series of 13 different hills, great for hiking, walking, some really easy mountains to climb, and also some really great spots to have picnics. So in terms of staying in this area, it is really beautiful. So it is lush, it's boutique accommodation. It's a really great region for couples, or if you're girls traveling together and you want to have some spa time, this is the area for you. It also has some really funky little unique accommodations. This one here, Glasshouse Mountains Eco Lodge, is actually a series of 13 train cars. So you can stay in an old restored train car, really cute, really funky, a little bit quirky. But we also have lots of beautiful high-end luxury products as well. So you may be familiar with the Spicers brands. They've got great properties all around the world. The one that you've got in the top left-hand corner there is called Spicers Tamarind. Now, these are beautifully styled bungalows. They're nestled right in the forest. You wake up and you've got birds singing, kangaroos hopping around on site, and they have a really fantastic spa, restaurant, and they also do cooking school on site. This is probably one of my favorite properties. If you move to the other side of the screen, you've got the beautiful Spicers Clavelli estate. Now, this is like a European style luxury hotel set in the rolling hills. It's a 5-star property, beautiful gardens. They've got a great pool, and they have a fine dining restaurant on site. So really great for a little romantic getaway as part of your holiday. Bottom left-hand side, you've got Nero's Escape Rainforest Retreat. That is actually voted by TripAdvisor the #1 most romantic hotel in the world. And I can tell you, I've stayed there myself, and they're pretty spot on the money for that. They've got these beautiful bungalow tree houses. They've got a spa baths in the room, hammocks. You get fresh croissants baked in the morning, beautiful breakfast hamper on arrival, and the most amazing host there. But it's really about true luxury set right in nature. And on the other one, on the other side, this one actually reminds me of something you might see in Canada, but totally different views. You've got Secrets on the Lake. These are beautiful hand-carved wooden tree houses, and they're overlooking probably one of the few lakes that we do have here in the Sunshine Coast, Lake Baroon, but all very artistic. They have spa baths in the rooms, big decks overlooking the lake, but it's absolutely stunning. So again, luxury, boutique, and sort of smaller style accommodation here in the hinterland. In terms of what to do in this area, you've got the amazing Australia Zoo, so home to Bindi Irwin Terrier and Robert Irwin, so you can get up close to your koalas, kangaroos. Also have the amazing Mullaney Botanical Garden and Bird World. This is 44 hectares of lush manicured gardens, again, overlooking those beautiful Glasshouse Mountains. Perfect spot to go for a walk, take a glass of bubbles, sit and have some champagne while you overlook the beautiful vistas. But other things to do, you can visit some of our great wineries. Again, you can go and have a nice spa day out. We also have a fantastic tour operator that will take you doing those paddock to plate food experiences. So you can go out and meet the local growers and producers and actually sample some of the produce. And next little area I'm going to talk about is sort of that midsection of the Sunshine Coast. Now, this is all of our beach towns. So starting at the bottom of Caloundra, going all the way up to Coolant. So absolutely stunning beaches. This is Maluaba Beach. That is my local beach there. It is the number 6 best beach in all of Australia, again, voted by TripAdvisor. But that's my local spot. This is where I go for a walk in the morning. Picnics down here, really great spot to have some fish and chips. But big coastal area, okay? So along that stretch, if you can look on that little map from Caloundra going up to Coolant Beach, you've got Maroochydore, Mooloolaba, so all sorts of beaches. Now, this is where you can do all of your jet skiing, your stand-up paddleboarding, your kayaking. Again, really great spot for swimming. All of these beaches do have lifeguards. So if you're not a confident swimmer, there are areas to, as we say in Australia, swim between the flags. So you've got lifeguards. Some are really great for surfing. Other ones like Mooloolaba have more sort of your gentle waves. But within each of these little towns, there's great nightlife, fantastic dining. That's where you can get those fabulous Mooloolaba prawns that I was talking about. Again, literally the size of your hand. You can actually pop down to the fisherman's wharf and grab them fresh off the trawler. Now, accommodation in this area, it is sort of a mix of boutique accommodation and then also your resort style properties. This one I've got here, Loea, is one of my favorites. It's sort of a Palm Springs motel sort of vibe, a little bit further away from the beach, but you've got bicycles so you can zip around. As mentioned, you do have those really big brand name resorts. So if you are someone who loves an Accor property, we have lots of Accor hotels in the sunny coast. Up at the top little left-hand corner there, my favorite is Sand Dunes Resort. This one has one of the best pools on the Sunshine Coast, as you can see, so you can sort of jump out of your room and right into that beautiful swimming pool. A lot of apartment style accommodation here as well. So if you're looking at doing a longer stay and you sort of decide you want to set up camp in the Sunshine Coast for a week or 2 weeks, there is apartment style accommodation, full service kitchen, so you can have those cooking facilities as well. Top right-hand side, you've got Maluaba Beach. This is one of our most popular properties for our international market because it overlooks Maluaba Beach. It's right on the Esplanade, so you can access all the restaurants, bars really easily. Down in the bottom right, you've got Rumba Resort down in Caloundra. That's got stunning views over the water. And then the Novotel Sunshine Coast Resort, which is a bigger style property, very resorty. It's got a lake in the middle, but it's also got direct beach access. So depending on what you're looking for, lots of different accommodation, very family friendly too. So our destination really does cater to families, and there's a great mix of that 5-star and also 4 3.5-star properties, which are perfect for families. What is there to do in this area? Lots to see and do. Whale watching is a big thing for us. So we do have whale watching season from June till October. So we're just sort of finishing up that whale experience at the moment. You can actually go swimming with the whales here as well. So you can throw on a snorkel mask, some fins, jump in the water and actually get really, really close to the whales. I can tell you, I did this personally and I sort of thought, I've got this, I'm okay with this, I'm not scared. And I jumped in and I was having a little splash in the water, opened my eyes and the whale looked right at me, and that's when I lost it a little bit, but it was such an amazing experience. Other things to do like Saltwater Ecotours. So we have some great tour operators operating on the canals of Mooloolaba. This product is really dear to my heart because it features an Indigenous component. So you can hop on board with our local Cubby Cubby group. They'll tell you the history of their people, tell you the stories of their waterways, a little bit about the mountains of the Sunshine Coast, but you also try some local bush tuckers. So you can try some kangaroo, which I know we don't like to say because no one wants to eat the soft and fluffy, but you can try some of that local meat and local bush tucker as well. Other things to do, again, if you've got kids, some really great experiences like Treetops Challenge. So that's your sort of adventure climbing course. We have Aqueduct, which is your lark style vehicle. So it cruises along on the road and then it drives straight along into the ocean as well. So from the land straight into the water. You can do your Paradise Seaplane, so you can go up nice and high and see great views of the Sunshine Coast. We've got a fantastic aquarium. And we also have Night Quarter, which is sort of your entertainment precinct, so live concerts, music. They've got food markets as well. And then we move up towards Noosa. Now, Noosa, we like to say sometimes, is the crown jewel, the jewel in the crown. It's absolutely stunning. It's one of my favorite areas in the Sunshine Coast. As you can see, it's absolutely beautiful spot, blue, blue, blue water. And it's a really, really nice spot for families, couples. It's great for everybody. It's sort of the top of the Sunshine Coast. So we sort of start moving up to that middle section. If you look on that little map. So in terms of distances, it's about 30 minutes from Mooloolaba. And along the way, you've got Sunshine Beach and Sunrise Beach. It's probably one of our most popular regions. It's quite famous for its national park, its main beach, really luxury accommodation, but also what we call barefoot luxury. They've got a really bustling main street called Hastings Street, where you've got boutique shops, cafes, world-class restaurants, and quite a vibrant nightlife. The Noosa National Park, as I mentioned, is an absolutely stunning park. I'll show you a picture of that in a second, but great beaches, lookouts, and it's also a really fantastic spot to surf. It is a world-class surfing reserve. Noosa is actually a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve, so that was declared in 2007. So it's a global recognition of people living in harmony with nature. 35% of Noosa is protected national park, and it's also been named, as I mentioned, one of the best surfing reserves in the world. It's a really, really lovely spot. Now, that accommodation there, as I said, we do have luxury, but we do have what we say is barefoot luxury as well. So this is one of my favorite properties, Habitat Noosa. So they have some amazing glamping tents where you can sit outside. You've got your kangaroos hopping around, but it's on a stunning little lake. And from here, you can do some great tourism products like stand-up paddleboarding. You can go canoeing, you can go kayaking. If you're an avid kayaker, the Everglades is an absolutely stunning spot to go. And you can actually go with one of our operators and do a sort of 3, 4, 5 day kayak and camp all along the way. Really, really fantastic. In terms of that accommodation that I said was higher end, it does have some of those bigger brand names like your Peppers Noosa, your Sofitel Noosa, which is probably, again, for our friends visiting from overseas, one of our most popular hotels. They've got a great pool. It's direct beach access, little cabanas as well. You've got RACV, which is a really great resort for families. They've got an awesome play area, again, apartment style accommodation. And then one of my favorites there on the left, which is Kolgoa Point. As you can see, it's got that really, really lovely private beach. It is apartment style accommodation, but having that private beach is world class. You know, you can step outside and jump right into the water. In terms of things to do in Noosa, lots to see and do here as well. One of our most popular things to do is to visit the Mundy Markets. Now, these are markets that have been going on the Sunshine Coast for over 40 years. They happen every Wednesday and Saturday, but that's where you can pick up all your local fresh produce, your fruits and veg, but also handcrafted artisans. So you can pick up some cute little kangaroo earrings, or you can get some really great cards or a beautiful beach mat or paintings and art, but it's one of the most iconic things to do when you visit the Sunshine Coast. Lots of other things to see and do, like the Nusa Everglades, which I mentioned before. Now, the Everglades are one of the only 2 Everglades in the world. So the only other Everglade is in Florida. So we are home to the lucky other one. Now, what you can do here is, as I mentioned, you can go kayaking, but you can actually go canoeing, and they are Canadian canoes, which makes me so happy every time I do this experience. But you can hop in a boat, cruise down the Everglades. You'll see lots of beautiful birds. It's very quiet. It's absolutely relaxing. And then halfway along the tour, you can get out and do that canoeing experience. Other things to do, you've got the Nusa Ferry. So they do sort of scenic cruises and sunset cruises all around the Noosa canals. You have places like the Ginger Factory, where you can sample some local fresh ginger. Our region's quite popular for both the pineapple growing, but also ginger production as well. So here you can sample some ginger beer, some ginger juice. And then one of the other really, really famous and popular things that we have here in the Sunshine Coast is the Great Beach Drive. That's that beautiful image I showed you before. And that is basically getting into a 4-wheel drive up in Noosa, catching a small little ferry, and then you can drive all the way along the beach. Now, crystal clear water here, white sand, you've got beautiful coloured cliffs on the side. Along the way, you'll usually see dolphins. During whale season, you can see whales here, but it's an absolutely iconic experience to do that 4-wheel driving along the beach. There's nothing more real about Australia than driving along the sand, having the windows down, the air blowing in your hair, the beautiful ocean. It's one of my favorite things to do, and it's something you can easily do as a day trip, or you can drive from the Great Beach Drive sort of up to that last little region of the Sunshine Coast, which is the Gympie region. So right up at the very, very top of the Sunshine Coast, you can see we've got what we call the Mary Valley, Gympie, Tin Can Bay, and Rainbow Beach. This is probably one of my favorite areas of the Sunshine Coast. It's sort of a little gem. Not everybody knows about it, although Chris Hemsworth did come here last Christmas and they said bookings went up about 150%. So it's had the Hemsworth touch, which means it's a little bit busier than it was before. But this area is sort of your lush hills. So it's green, rolling hills. You've got Gympie, which is a really great historic little town. They've got some cute little museums. They also have a heritage steam train. Tin Can Bay is sort of a little coastal town. You can go there and feed some wild dolphins. And then the beautiful Rainbow Beach. Now, Rainbow Beach is also the gateway to Fraser Island, which most of you hopefully might have heard about before. Fraser Island is the largest sand island in the world. It's a massively beautiful island where you can only drive in a 4-wheel drive. So you can actually visit the Sunshine Coast and then continue on your journey if you are going on to Fraser Island. You can catch a barge, which goes to from Inskip Point right over to Fraser. And as I mentioned before, you know, 4-wheel driving on the beach is one of the must-dos. If you are a really big avid walker and you love to do great hikes, there is an area called the Great Kulula Walk. Big, beautiful, long walk through the sands. They're just building some little cabins that you can camp in along the way. Otherwise, it is camping, but it's an absolutely iconic experience as well to walk over all of the sand dunes, through the national parks, into the forest. It's absolutely stunning. So one of my favorite things to do in this region is to go kayaking up in Honeymoon Bay. Now, pictures probably, I don't think, do this area justice. So you can hop in a kayak, go out here, and you'll see dolphins. Sometimes you might be lucky enough to see manta rays. Again, during whale season, you've got whales swimming behind you. It's an absolutely stunning spot. In terms of what does that, accommodation and the experiences look like up here, you've got some great properties like Plantation Resort, Rainbow Ocean Palms. It really is apartment style in this area, but again, suitable for couples, families, larger family groups if you're traveling together to celebrate someone's birthday. Great accommodation. And then, as I mentioned before, you've got things to do like the Mary Valley Rattler, which is an authentic steam train. So if we have any train enthusiasts watching today, I highly recommend this product. You jump on board and you do a little 2-hour journey through the rolling hills. You've got people that come through and tell you the story, the history of the train, and also the stations you pass along the way. And then again, going out with this operator to go kayaking or canoeing up at Double Island Point. So really, really beautiful spot. Great for bird life too at the top area of the Sunshine Coast. You can see all sorts of different birds. You've got your pelicans and then your seabirds, and then you also get some really lush different forest birds that come in, and it's absolutely beautiful spot. So I think I've zipped through probably fairly quickly. Sorry, I think, girls, I've probably zipped through quite quick. But that's our little presentation on the Sunshine Coast. I probably didn't mention, and I probably should, that it is, to get around the Sunshine Coast, it is predominantly a self-drive destination. So I can see some questions coming through. So the total distance from the bottom of the Sunshine Coast to the top. So it is a self-drive destination for the most part. There are day tour operators that can take you around the Sunshine Coast. if you want to do different day trips. From the top to the bottom, so if you're looking sort of starting at the Glasshouse Mountains, sort of in Caloundra, up to the very top in Gympie, it'll take you about 3 hours. So you can easily go from one area to the next, sort of in that day tour. Normally for internationals, if you are coming overseas, and depending on what your itinerary looks like, if you are, shorter on time and you're thinking, how do I spend my time in the Sunshine Coast? What do I do? How long do I stay? I would normally recommend at least 3 nights so that you can see Noosa, you can see those Glasshouse Mountains, you can go up to Rainbow Beach or do Mooloolaba, just depending on what your time is. If you have more time, you could easily spend a week or longer here. There really is a lot to see and do. I'm not sure if there's any other questions, but if anyone has questions, happy for you to share them or ask those questions.
That's wonderful. Rob says it's amazing that you picked up such a strong Australian accent after being there for just 14 years.
I know. I was telling the girls, you can hear the Canadian in me when once I've had a couple of wines, it's a different story, and the Canadian really starts to come out a lot more. But sorry, guys, I probably ripped through that a little bit.
No,
too
it's
quickly.
great. It was wonderful. There were so many things that I love. And I'm sure everybody's the same. The ginger, the pineapple, the Canadian kayaks, Chris Hemsworth. I mean, and the bird life, feeding wild dolphins, driving on the beach. Like, what more can we ask for? It's incredible. I know that.
Sorry, Julie, you go.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I know that this area, especially like Mooloolaba, is popular for Canadians to go for long stays. Like, we do have long stay programs, 21 and 28 nights, usually in that area in an apartment. If that was the case, do you think if somebody was in, say, maybe Mooloolaba, would you still recommend that they have a car? Or do you think that, like, are there areas they could walk to get groceries and stuff, and then maybe just do a few day tours where they would pick them up?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it is, it is sort of self-drive, but if you are staying in one of those hubs, so if you're staying in Mooloolaba, you're staying in Noosa, or even down in Caloundra, you sort of have an esplanade everywhere. So esplanade of your shops, your dining, your restaurants, everything. So it is easily accessible by foot. You've got great beach walks there. So totally possible to not have a car, and then just, if you want to hire a car for a day, or if you want to do, a day tour, say you want to go up to the Glasshouse Mountains, we've got lots of different operators that'll come pick you up from your accommodation, so directly from the door, and you can do your food experiences. So going up to the mountains, doing some of the lookouts, going for some walks, seeing the waterfalls, but then also doing things like sampling the cheese, the good stuff, the cheese, the chocolate, the wine, all that sort of thing. So you can come do that as well. Or someone's just written a beautiful comment. They spent 6 months in Australia and they love the Sunshine Coast. Oh, good. Gold star to you, George and Gloria. You're my favorites. So, I mean, yeah, like, there is a lot to do. And I guess that the best part is that it is really easy. Like I said, we have compact diversity. So you could be sitting on the beach in Mooloolaba and 35 minutes later be up in those Glasshouse Mountains going for a walk. So you can easily tick a lot. If you are, time poor and say you've only got a couple of days in the Sunshine Coast, you can still see all of the icons like Noosa National Park. You can do, one of the beautiful beaches. You can do a walk in a really short time, because you're not actually spending a lot of time in the car driving around. Everything is, unless you're going to Rainbow, everything else is sort of in that 30 to 1 hour sort of distance apart. So it's an easy and uncomplicated way to sort of get around in the Sunshine Coast.
Right. I love how you talked about the Indigenous tourism, that specific tour. I think Australia just does such a great job of incorporating Indigenous tourism into, sprinkled throughout Australia. You can have those experiences.
It's actually a year of Indigenous tourism in Australia this year. It was supposed to be last year, unfortunately, joys of 2020. But yeah, it's a really big focus here, and we are lucky that we've got our local Cubby guys, and they are so engaged, and they're doing these great new tours where you can actually hear about the culture and history. And I mean, I'm not even going to try and tell their stories because I don't tell them with the same effect that they do. But the Sunshine Coast has got some really great ones, especially about those Glasshouse Mountains. So there are a few more sort of Indigenous operators coming on board too. So I think by the time we can get Canadians back over here, we might have a few more fun products as well.
That's awesome. The other thing that I think is really special, and I know that's quite important to you, I think maybe especially in Noosa, is just how important sustainability is in building, in tourism, in, you know, just life. Do you want to speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, Sunshine Coast is a pretty, you know, we're a pretty green friendly destination. You know, if a lot of people here compost, people recycle, eco-friendly, especially in Noosa. We've got a program called Plastic Free Noosa. So it's all about, you know, everything's about recyclability, sustainability. It's all about buying your keep cup, you know, buying aluminum water bottles instead of plastic. So there's a focus on that. And we have quite a few eco-certified operators. So like the Nusa Everglades, the glamping there, some of the hotels are moving into more eco-friendly and sustainable practices. So things like using big bottles of shampoo versus individual and all those sorts of little things. And in the rooms, you know, a lot of hotels are offering like reusable water bottles and all that sort of stuff. So it is a really big focus in our area because especially, you know, having a biosphere, having all these world-class surfing reserves, having all these natural nature experiences, we do actually really want to protect the natural beauty is as well.
That's me. Awesome. Just another question about like hiking. So say you were going into the Glasshouse Mountains, you know, here, if you were hiking in the Rocky Mountains, you'd bring your bear spray. You don't need that there. But is there anything else as you're hiking around that you really need to be aware of? Or, you know, if you had your car and a good pair of shoes, like you're good to go, but, you know, water bottle.
Yeah, I mean, so within the Glasshouse Mountains, you've got some more experienced hikes, which I probably wouldn't recommend unless you are a seasoned hiker. That's a little bit more, you do need proper shoes and your packs and all that sort of thing. But there's at least 4 that are easy. They're like 45-minute little climbs up to the top where you get those really stunning views where you can just go in your normal running shoes. And then a lot of the other ones, like to the waterfalls, again, they're minimal impact. They're small little hikes anywhere. You can see some beautiful waterfalls in 15 minutes, up to sort of that 45 to an hour mark. So very easy. I mean, listen, it's Australia, so you have to watch out for, you know, the things that we don't like to talk about, like the spiders, etc. But for the most part, you don't see that here, especially because it is quite dry. We don't get lots of rain. We do have that 300 days of sunshine a year, so you don't get as many creepy crawlies as you do elsewhere in Australia.
Okay. Oh, awesome. Good to know. I know when I came back, I was used to, like, from walking a lot in Australia, is stomping your feet a little bit more so that they feel the vibration and stay away from the path usually. But anyhow.
I will say it. I mean, having lived in Sydney where it's a bit more damp and it's a bit fresher and you do get a few more of the creepy crawlies, up here we don't see them as much. Or I mean, most people have in the sunny coast all have dogs or they have cats, so you know you don't see them as much either because you've got something else to take care of that.
Right. And sorry if you mentioned this already, but when is the whale season? When would you see the most whales?
Yeah, so June till October. So we are just coming sort of to the tail end of that season now. But you know, here it's really easy. I guess that's another thing probably. Whale watching here is super easy. Most of the boats depart from Mooloolaba, and it's only a 15-minute little cruise out before you start seeing whales. So if you're someone who struggles with seasickness, it's not a massive transfer out. It's really easy. And then you're already out there seeing pods of whales. And I mean, usually you get the dolphins as well, because when there's whales, there's always dolphins. So you get some great pods of dolphins and a lot of the birds hanging around too. So it's pretty magical. And again, that's something that you can do, that swim with the whales too, which I was good until it looked at me and jumped in the water and had a little look, and I was like, I'm fine. And then I turned to my side and the whale opened its eye and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, it's happening. But what a special experience, you know. And I mean, Canada's got great whales too, but it's more killer whales, whereas here you've got your greys and it's a totally different experience.
Wow, that's amazing.
Amazing.
Love it. What do you think, Rhonda?
Oh, You know, you had me in from the minute you started talking. I want to go visit. And then even more so when about the creepy crawlies, not as many in that area. I'm even more now. Love everything. Love it all. It just sounds so amazing. You got a little bit of everything there in your little nook of area of Australia. It just sounds so fantastic. So, well, I'm in. How about you
Well,
guys?
listen,
You guys
listen,
in?
ladies, you're welcome anytime. The door is always open, you know, and for your clients too, come to my house, you know, we'll take them for a barbecue. That's the way, the real Aussie way. And I mean, like I said, like Sunshine Coast, it really is, it's a unique destination. It's totally different from anywhere else you visit in Australia. And it is all about that real natural experiences and getting up close to nature and wildlife. And yeah, it's something that, you know, for all of you online, if you're thinking, you know, you want to do your big cities and do all of your other experiences, we can sort of weave in quite easily, and we can give you that real Australian experience.
Love that.
Excellent.
Thank you so much. That's just wonderful, Emily. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for joining us and giving us a little taste of Australia. And we're sending all our love back to you from Canada here.
Big love to you guys. I'm thinking of all of you in Canada. Enjoy your fall. Enjoy the changing of the colors. Enjoy your pumpkin spice lattes. Oh. Anyways, maybe we'll catch you ladies in Canada hopefully soon. And yeah, and to all of you online, thanks for hanging out with us today. And yeah, please don't hesitate to think about the Sunshine Coast for when you can visit Australia.
Sounds great. Enjoy the beach for us, Emily.
Thank you. Thanks, ladies. Have a good day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.